Hey, Slash do Buckaroos, how the heck are you? I know it's late. I should have came on earlier today, but like I said, I got home about I don't know about 5 from that thing I did earlier, and I just didn't drink. I needed to sober up a minute, so I didn't drink for a while, and then I kind of lost track of time figuring out something else. I've got a contest tomorrow. I think I told you about earlier, so I was figuring that out, and I didn't realize what time it was. I said, "Well, hell." Hey, I got that contest tomorrow. I don't want to get hammered tonight, but I do have a little bit of time to play with. So I wanted to do another video. Not quite the same spirit as the last one. So a friend uh, made me aware of a cocktail called a Burt Martini, which I was not aware of before, and I didn't want to do that again. But it also made me remember some of the crazy martinis that I used to make, substituting, bourbon or other things for the gin. And so that's what I wanted to do here is I'm still using scotch, but I'm not using any gin. I'm not floating the scotch, but I am kind of doing a martini like cocktail, but I'm using the scotch instead. And I'll give you the whole rundown here in a second once I get this fixed here. There we go. Now we're back in business. But I'm not using any gin. I'm not floating the. There we go. Turn that volume down on that. It wasn't up for the last one, but anyways. So this is what I'm using here. I'm using the Grange Stone Highland Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. This is their sherry cask. So using that, again, using that other cocktail as a template, I'm using that. Okay, so I got 2 ounces of that. I got about 3/4 ounce of dry vermouth, but I decided to do uh, put a foam over the top, to do a little egg white, kind of cream it up a little bit. You see, I had really good foam there. To start with, it's kind of dissipated some, but it still looks pretty good, huh? A little bit left in here. Let me, well, dark, well, great, Tom. Pour it all over yourself and on the floor. That's nice. Wife loves when you do that. Anyway, but I like the way that looked with the foam. I hadn't, I just, so I was just going to do the, the whiskey and the, oh, that is nice. I did say egg white foam. That's not correct. Actually, I did do a foam, but I use this product and on egg white, a non-egg alternative. It's called Fee Foam from the Fee Brothers. So I got this for my birthday as well. So I used a few dashes of that, and that makes some really, really, really nice foam. So I am getting better with the foam, but I didn't want to do the foam for the contest tomorrow because I didn't want to add another element, right? I'm keeping mine as simple as possible. So I know folks are gonna do much more complicated cocktails than but I had a particular theme I was running with, so I feel like I nailed the theme. But I do like the way this cocktail looks. Again, with that scotch, I'm using the Dolan dry vermouth and that non-egg white foamer. I do like the way so that makes a nice, elegant cocktail. Now, I was asking questions or looking up, asking AI questions, but I was looking up other questions, just general, trying to find some information about Manhattans because I swear that I had a Manhattan one time that had foam on top. So, but when I looked that up, they said it is done upon occasion, but not really because it changes the texture of the cocktail. But I can't shake the idea that I had one that way once. So I'm going to keep working on it, but it will change the flavor of the cocktail and the look. I just, I'm not going to be satisfied until I get it right. I need to get it right one time, then I can decide if I want to keep it or not. I do like the way this came out, though. What's interesting is that this particular whiskey is just an 80 proof whiskey. So, because I was going to use a higher proof whiskey with something else, but when I decided to go Scotch, these 3 bottles of Scotch are all 80 proof. So, it's not an insane cocktail. But I do like the way it looks with the foam. I really do. Anyway, anyways, I digress. If you got any questions or comments, please put it up there. If for whatever reason I like to be part of the video, let me know, and I will send you a link, typically via Messenger. But I could send an email. Some folks prefer it that way. So, anyways, this is a tasty cocktail, though. It's basically a straight up a chilled Scotch, right? Then I've added a little bit of dry vermouth, and then the non egg foam. So it kind of just kind of dresses it up a little bit. It's a very tasty cocktail, though. I gotta tell you. I was gonna use one of my bigger proof bourbons and or ryes. But I thought, well, since I was going burned, I want to stay with that theme, but I wanted to take out the gin altogether and just do a whiskey. And I again serve it in Nick and Nora. I just like the idea, kind of an elegant cocktail, if you will. If I will, what? Huh? Oh, mercy. That ain't bad, man. Anyways, anyways. Oh, I'm really nervous about tomorrow because I'm not the most ultra competitive person, but I don't want to be, I don't want to embarrass my family name either, right? I want to embarrass my work because I'm representing my place of business. So I want to embarrass everybody. So that's my big fear, in all honesty, is just tanking so bad, spilling everything everywhere, screwing everything up like a sitcom, like a Gilligan was on a bartending, that kind of thing. Making sitcom mistakes. That's what runs through my head constantly. And that's the problem with sitcoms, right? Because they show you things that are so very exaggerated, they shouldn't actually ever happen. But now that you've seen them on television, you're worried about doing those exact same things. And because that you're worried about that, you're more likely to manifest that, make it happen. And if you hadn't watched that stupid ass show, you wouldn't have thought about it. No, because nobody should ever screw things up that badly as people do in sitcoms. But nevertheless, now we've watched it. Now we're worried about doing that exact same thing. Now that we've seen it, we can manifest it. And I'm going to spill this at this particular time and knock that over. Next thing I know, this hits a wire, sparks fly, that catches on fire. Anyways, these are the things that keep me up at night. These are the things I worry about. This is why I have those dreams about going to work naked. Anyways, I digress. So there is a theme, and but I mean it was more of a rough outline. I kind of took it to an extreme, so I'm hoping that what I came up with kind of fits the idea, right? Because the theme was tequila and tracksuits, and I wanted to take it more to. I was thinking '80s, and I was thinking very cheesy, very kitschy. So I'm hoping other folks will understand this is the direction I was leaning. Yeah, but this is why I did this and use that. I wanted to find some very '80s kitschy clothes, but it wasn't meant to be. But as I've said on other occasions, I'm better when I cram and don't study. So come morning, I'm going to look through this crap that I have and say, okay, what's the kitschiest outfit I could possibly put together with the crap I have? Because I don't have anything that's, I mean, well, that's not quite true, but almost everything I have is at least a decade old. It's not necessarily '80s old, but so I'm going to find the kitschiest stuff I have, and we'll see what we've got. I was hoping to find what I really wanted to find, and it just wasn't going to happen. I wanted to find those old, polyester shorts that coaches all wore in the 70s and 80s, that were too short and too tight. And then the white polo and the tube socks that went to your knees, and I couldn't find those. But I'll look at what I have and see how kitschy I can possibly get. I want if I really I didn't want to spend a lot of money, right? Because I could have spent a lot of money to make this look happen. But I wanted to. A friend and I were talking about the stuff we wore back, and everybody had those, those old school white Nikes with the blue swoosh. If I could have found those, that would have been money. That would have made the outfit, man. Those shoes would have made the outfit. Those old school shoes they haven't made in what 50 years. Those first Nikes everybody put on. Look, they're Nikes. Hell, I was wearing shoes from Payless, man. We didn't have Nike money. My family didn't have Nike money. No, I was wearing the four stripe shoes from Payless. They were comfy. And they didn't cost as much as, I mean, people were paying like 25, $30 for those shoes in the late 70s. And that might not seem like much now, but that was a lot of money back then. Although I do remember when I started working, making my own money, and again talking about the mid to late 80s. Well, no, let's say 82 to 87 when I left California. I mean, even back then I was paying 25 to $30 for a pair of Vans. Yeah. That's if you up that to what that would equal today, that was a lot of money back then. But I was making my own money, so then I was wearing those name brand shoes. I was wearing some damn Vans, man. I was wearing Nikes though. Nike was a little uppity for me, but I would buy some. I would buy some Vans. I had to have the white Vans. The checkered Vans. Oh, everybody had a pair of checkered Vans. Well, I didn't wear them all the time, but I did have a pair of checkered Vans because I had the checkered shirt, you see. So when I wore the checkered undershirt, I had the checkered Vans, and everything had to match. Everything had to come together. It was a whole ensemble, baby. anyways, anyways, I digress. I'm the whiskey whisperer. We didn't need to know that much about your past, huh? I'm the whiskey whisperer, whiskey evangels. Well, I was gonna have a beer, but we're just gonna shut her down. I'm the whiskey whisperer, whiskey evangels, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy.